Toxic relationships. They're like drinking a cup of poison-laced tea every day, except the poison has a knack for ruining your mental health instead of just your morning beverage. Whether it's a partner who's as supportive as a broken crutch, a friend who gaslights you more than an old-timey street lamp, or a family member whose love feels like a high-stakes game of emotional dodgeball, toxic relationships can wreak havoc on your well-being. And while ending these relationships sounds ideal, we also know life isn't always that simple. Sometimes your toxic person is a family member, or worse, the coworker whose desk sits hauntingly close to the break room. The toxic toll on your body and brain. Toxic relationships aren't just stressful in the "why am I crying in the bathroom again" kind of way. They actually reprogram your body's stress response system, like a hacker who gleefully installs malware in your brain. The result: chronic cortisol production. Think of it as your body's overzealous alarm bell that never quite turns off. This constant state of high alert can make you feel exhausted and frazzled, impair your memory. Who needs that, right? And it can take your logical thinking hostage. The body's stress response system. Now overworked and underpaid, the stress caused by toxic relationships can hijack your brain. Elevated cortisol doesn't just make you jittery, it also wreaks havoc on serotonin levels, those lovely brain chemicals that make life feel bearable. It's like an internal sabotage, triggering emotional outbursts and making rational thinking as elusive as a satisfying series finale. The brain starts to malfunction, leading to a smorgasbord of health issues, including inflammation and accelerated aging, because nothing says timeless beauty quite like unrelenting stress. Desperate times, unhealthy measures. Let's be honest. When you're trapped in a toxic relationship, self-soothing often comes with a side of questionable life choices. Maybe you start bonding a little too hard with your wine rack, or treating online shopping like the Olympics. These coping mechanisms offer temporary relief, like a band-aid on a broken bone, but can end up making your mental health worse. Imagine a husband who unwinds after enduring an emotionally draining marriage with a daily cocktail, or a teenager who uses drugs to tolerate a toxic home environment. What starts as survival mode can become a full-blown maladaptive habit, often requiring professional help to unravel. The sweet release of freedom. Here's some good news. Leaving a toxic relationship can feel like a breath of fresh mountain air. Studies show that 83% of women who escaped abusive partners reported improvements in PTSD symptoms within a year. People who broke free from emotionally abusive relationships saw their self-esteem bounce back faster than a rubber ball at a kid's party. Even hospital admissions for mental health conditions took a notable dip when women cut ties with their toxic partners. But beware of the lingering shadows. Even after breaking free, the aftermath of prolonged toxicity can leave lasting scars. Anxiety, depression, emotional regulation challenges, and PTSD may become unwelcome houseguests. That's why many people need ongoing therapy to process the trauma. Group therapy can also be a lifesaver, providing a community of fellow survivors who understand what it's like to ride the roller coaster of healing. Setting boundaries. A crash course in self-preservation. When walking away isn't an option, because abandoning your entire family or workplace might have unfortunate consequences, boundaries are your armor. They aren't just a suggestion, they're essential. Think of boundaries as a force field that deflects manipulation and abuse, allowing you to say no without the usual guilt. Establishing them can shift the power dynamics, slowly rebuilding your sense of self-worth and giving you the confidence to protect your mental health. Toxic relationships are a mental and physical health nightmare. complete with emotional manipulation and relentless stress. Developing anxiety, depression, or even PTSD isn't just common. It's practically the membership fee for staying in these dysfunctional dynamics. Leaving is often the best path to healing. But if escape isn't an option, fortify yourself with boundaries, self-care, and professional support. With time, courage, and some hard-earned humor, it's possible to overcome even the deepest damage. One day you might look back and laugh at what you survived, knowing you're stronger and maybe a little bit wiser than before. Are you currently in or a survivor of a toxic relationship? Tell us about it.